So hey guys, I figured out how to turn the camera around for those of you who have been following my story. Um, hey, I'm Bad Girl Mystic. So, what do I do here? A lot of you know I just shoot the shit about my life and share my art. The twist is that I have a history of trauma, and personally, right now, I am dealing with rehabilitating from my third relapse with a traumatic brain injury. So, what does that mean, and why am I sharing it with you? And what that means is it's about changing my habits, about changing my environment. I had to just say, fuck it. Like, I was unable to continue doing the same habits I had been doing over and over and over that gave me good and bad results, like some shit was going better, some shit was old shit that was old loops just stuck from childhood sexual trauma that I had from the age of 2. So why do I throw that out there? Because this is my bad girl wisdom. This is me being raw and uncut because I know this. I know this because of the work I've done in this area so far. People have come up to me and said, hey, thank you. I really needed to hear that. I get feedback a lot that what I do share has value. And so while I'm rehabilitating with this brain injury, if I can throw up some videos about what I have learned from what I have studied about the physical body, our behavioral science, the way our brain thinks, what I have learned from doing, the heart-centered work in therapy and 12-step programs. And I've studied body work and energy work and I don't know, the rest will come, nutrition, stuff like that. Anywho, like I've gone freaking deep on this shit, trying to, what we all know, the motherfucker of having PTSD is the triggers. The triggers. And they always show up when you least expect them. They totally fuck you up. And so, in the same thing with the brain injury, there are triggers that will, in my environment, that I will stumble upon with my brain injury. Places where, there's still for work signs going on. Anyway, more about that story. This is why I'm making this video. This is what I want to share with you. I have a Bad Girl Mystic Facebook page that I do my meme gardening. Just whatever I see that, I get the feels, right? It gets me right there, or it makes me laugh, or whatever that inspiration is that I get from the outside world to keep my imagination going and thinking of ways that I can share what it is that I know, and following through on ideas that I have for paintings and what I feel pulled towards to create with my hands. And what I want to share with a lot of you is the process. And this is my mashup from years of doing professional work and having my own office and shit I've even learned from waiting tables, like just life experience of how I put into action my intentions to change my habits in a way that works with my triggers from trauma, as opposed to trying to fight against them or that, ignore them or, push past the pain and whatever the feels are that's coming up. And doing that always fucked me up. So for people who no longer want to do it that way, this is what I'm sharing with you. And I just saw this quote. I was thinking this really describes, like, fuck it. Sometimes you just have to be done. Not mad, not upset, just done. And that's kind of where I landed with my health and just having to, like I said, make some big changes. And we all know change sucks and nobody wants to come out of their comfort zone. And sometimes we have to feel like crap to release the stuff that is creating the same habitual reactions over and over to our environment. that is causing emotional triggers of not enough, too much, or just like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Which PTSD, like fight, flight, or freeze. I'm a freezer. So, uh, this is the story. So I have this page on Facebook, Bad Girl Mystic. I've told you I've been doing these meme gardening. I throw up my pictures of my art and every once in a while a video. And the crazy thing is, it's like all of a sudden, like, it's just a lot of people just started hanging out in my little gypsy wagon online. The cool thing is, though, is that I've had, like, okay, so I took time off. I went on a sabbatical. A lot of people know this. I was teaching. I contributed to a book. I was getting ready to do speaking. I got injured. I messed up my body. I had a really bad fall. And then I had a relapse with my brain injury when my mom died. I'm not really able to travel. I had to fly, and lawyers and cops had to be involved, and like it was massively off the scale, what the fuck, stressful. And 6 months later, my dog died. My best friend, really good friend, Alfonso, who was also a mentor, he died. And our life as we know it in the country I live in changed suddenly, and Bowie and Prince died. Like, it was just like, So, I noticed I wasn't doing well, and I was struggling, and I was pushing, and I wasn't prioritizing my health. So I knew that I had to change the way I approach my environment and my healing and myself, and that's what this is about. So I was doing podcasts and classes back then. Anyway, there's this old meme that's on this page. Back to what I'm saying. This is why I have to write shit down before I talk to you guys. So it's kind of like up there. I have this old meme from this old like podcast I did. The links are old. Like, there's been no memes because, like I said, I took a sabbatical from doing any teaching or any work like this. I needed to grieve. I needed to get my shit together. I said, fuck it. Like, I knew that for my survival, my protection, my security, like all those things that you need to have a foundation of, so that it opens you up to be creative and let flow of life flow through you, and be present for your relationships, and be present with your choices, and be aligned and connected and happy in the physical being in the environment that you're in. To do all of that work, you first have to feel good being in your body. So this has been my focus. So I had this meme, right? Back to the page. I had this meme. It's from an old vision board that I had done way before any of this, the podcast or the book or any of that happened. Like, this is when it was kind of like that aha swirling around in my brain. And I turned it, and it was said 2016, building your dreams on a foundation of scars. I think I might even said scar tissue on that one. I flipped back and forth between the titles. All of a sudden, it's gotten like a lot of shares and notice, and so that was kind of like the aha here. Like, if I'm going to put anything out in the world, I mean, I've got a million freaking outlines that I've written down. A lot of my process, because I used to do theater, is I need to walk the boards. I need to speak it and think it and feel it, because I'm a kinesthetic learner, and get that out of my head before I get it on paper. And so this came up. So with the full moon and the eclipse and everything else going on, this is a whole nother thing, but I just recently started practicing an eclectic witch practice, a daily craft to up my awareness and focus and connection to what it is of the art and stuff and mojo I want to put out in the world. And then what I want to show you guys is how I put that into real time. So, this is where I get screwed up and I can't figure out how to turn the camera around. Anywho, I have a coloring book planner. So I take these readings and I'm going to show you how you put that into goals and put that into your calendar and create small, simple strategies that'll help you change.